Mars, explosive god of fire, god with the cool music. God of anger and fear and hatred and aggression and passion and lust and fortitude and strength and courage and badassery. This is Mars, god of war. He's the force, the power, the masculine. Mankind is in a constant war with the elements of nature, none more so than the cold and the night. Our favourite weapon in this war of attrition is man's red fire. In Mesopotamia and Sumeria, Mars was known as Nergal, god of disease and death, plague and famine, war and destruction. Known as the dunghill cock. In Greece he was Ares, young brash god of war, his name etymologically speaking related to bane, ill will, maleficence, ire. In Rome he was known as Mars, the etymology of which nobody knows, and that makes me angry. In Britain we have Tyr, the god Tyr, who's the god of Tuesday, Tyr's Day. Around the rest of Europe and all those other foreign speaking type places they call him Martes, also Marzo, Mars, and that's where we get March from, because the Roman soldiers would march in March and they go to war in March, and the spring actually goes to war with winter in March. The plants come out. This force that is the Martian masculine, energetic, fatherly force that pushes things to fruition is totally evident in spring as the lambs begin to spring, just as March is the month of Aries, the ram, which climbs up the zodiac and springs into action and headbutts things that it needs to get through, i.e. the winter. Mars rules Aries in the zodiac, but Mars also rules Scorpio, which is the onset of autumn, just as Aries kickstarts into action the spring, so Scorpio kills the summer and we plummet into the autumn, into the fall. There are big secrets here. One of them is the fact that energy can be conserved within a source, only to be let out explosively. Mars, the planet, not the god, was one of the 7 astral bodies known to man in the past. Like Mercury, its orbit often goes retrograde in its 687-day cycle. Mars, unlike Mercury, which is often going backwards and forwards, goes backwards and forwards in long sweeping arcs of time. And so we're seen as being independent, if not a little arrogant, of the course of the heavens. And so we have the god at war, as he's at war with the different factions. More than anything, Mars was observed to be the red planet, the planet of lust and passion and blood. To the Greeks, Ares was the naked, impulsive, young, brash god of war. The young man, that passion, that sexual bloodlust for action and battle and accomplishment and achievement. In antithesis to this character, they had Athena, who was more strategic and thoughtful in her approach to war. Whereas Ares was the god of getting into a good old fisticuffs for any old reason, Athena was the goddess of taking it easy, watching where the enemy goes, striking unseen, certainly striking defensively rather than offensively as Ares would have done. Mars, however, the Roman god, was the subtle parts and the brash parts of war all combined together into one character, one god. He was a much more mature version of the god of war, a much more comprehensive understanding of these archetypes, the archetype of power, of will, of ego. So Mars is that ancient god of fire that we keep hearing about. He is energy. Venus is the body. Mars is the thing that animates. It's the life force. He is the energy it takes to get things done. He could boil a feminine cauldron if we were to place it on top of this here fire. He is aggression, yes, but he is assertion and willpower and the fire that burns in your belly, passion and the effort it takes to get things done, discipline. He's the god of martial arts, after all, of highly disciplined arts, and one that is always facing down fear. This fire is seen as being willpower. It's the negative affirmations, I will not. It's discipline and honor and courage in the face of fear. It's the positive masculine archetypes. It can be the negative archetypes too. It can be destruction. It can be scary fire. It can be wild and untamed. Most of all, whatever form it's in, fire is the destroyer and the converter. Mars is the energy it takes to get things done. In the tarot, it's signified by a wand, that being a spine or a penis, those things which provide energies to the rest of the body. They're the conductors. Women love a man that goes and gets things done. Being a male is about getting things done and making the sacrifice to get things done. A lot could be said about the warrior's way of life, and that with death so close, there's a different way of living life, and the warrior's life is so close to death at any one moment that he lives every day as if it was his last, because it very well might be. The difference that makes in life is that you get things done, because the masculine archetype gets things done. So Mars is the energy, the masculine side of the force. The female is the body, the shape of the force. The masculine activates the feminine to get things done. It kind of impregnates it with its energy so that new things can form. Partially through destruction, partially through activation. And these are the two sides of the masculine force. So Mars, as with men, activates that feminine Venus force. Women love aggressive men. We all love war. It's the human condition to be at war with everything. It takes survival skills and knowledge and energy to get anything done. And these are the masculine archetypes. And those activate the feminine, as the feminine archetype of beauty activates the masculine. Because basically we want to pass our genes on. Women want a man that will look after the kids, and a man wants good-looking kids that aren't cripples. So it's the genes selecting, probably, though you can say that equally those genes are selecting based on the archetypes which are present in all nature. In fact, that is exactly what I say. There's the myth of Mars and Venus, where Mars, the masculine active principle, is attracted to Venus, the feminine passive principle. He's particularly activated by her stunning looks and lusts after her. Alchemically and philosophically speaking, she's overcoming Mars. She's overcoming and receiving his passion. Beauty and love win out over anger and aggression. We have the effects of Mars. The helmet, which is a representation of the helmet of a man. The phallic symbol, that masculine principle, that phallus that won't stay up. As this spear is also a symbol of that principle. It's a penis, basically. The spear tip being the penetrating principle of the masculine, that aggression and assertiveness again. We have the shield, kind of Athenan more than it would have been Aresian. It's Mars' shield for defending against oncomers. The ego, as is his chariot. I didn't bring a chariot with me, I'm very sorry, I left it at home by mistake. Mars' vehicle of choice is the chariot, which is that Venusian principle energized into a vehicle that goes somewhere. Whatever it is in the universe, it's something that transforms and changes. It was here and now it's there. This in the mind, in the consciousness, is actually the principle of building egos. It's an ego that will take you places. It's ego that has boundaries and walls. Ego is literally a boundary maker. I am this, you are that. That's the ego. So within these boundaries, we fill it with energy. We fill these boundaries, which are rules that we give ourselves. I will do this, I will do that. I will not do this, I will not do that. And here we go. This is this vehicle, this chariot that we have, which is the power of Mars contained, ready to go. Mars is really the conflict of opposites, always tussling. You're always needing to expend energy, willpower to get tasks done. It's a conflict of opposites in that we can have energy expended in good ways and bad ways, good ego or bad ego. Each is its own reward. A task accomplished through skill and practice and discipline will give good rewards and good cosmic karma. You can do that thing. However, if you cheat your way to the top, when your skills are called upon and it's your day for action, you'll fail because you don't actually have those skills, because you're a cheating, no good, conniving failure. Whereas the good guy in this case is a badass. So Mars is energy. It takes energy to get up off the couch. So Mars is strength. It takes strength to lift weights down the gym. This is Mars. The principle of Mars is also destruction. You destroy the muscles in order to build them up. Mars is power. This is the dynamic range of the god Mars. He is the ability to say, no, I will go down to the gym. I will destroy these muscles even though it hurts and pains me. I will get this done. The metal of Mars in alchemy is iron. It's a weapon or a tool sharpened, tempered and honed to do its task perfectly. Ego equally needs to be melted and tempered. Energy also needs this smelting together and tempering into something good to do the great work, which is the work on yourself. Mars rules Aries and Scorpio. Aries is the brain and cerebrum. Scorpio has its little stinger in the genitals. The generative area is most potent with the energies of that original willpower, but inside the human body. It's that will to create. It's the will to go to tussle with this conflict of opposites we see around us. Mars essentially is the battle with the lower self and a creation of better things through negation and opposites. So Mars is not so much the god of war, but in fact the spirit of battle.